How you going, guys? Immortal Souls here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and thought I'd do a video today. Analyzing one of Jhenning videos, and this guy, he's a flat earther. Me and him go way back, actually. We were a couple of the first pioneer flat earthers on YouTube. So um, he did one of his videos before I did. So um, yeah, but we kind of discovered the flat Earth very early on back in the day. So it's very interesting. It was a good experience. There was like Matt Boylan um, and Rory Cooper, and really we only really started it all like doing videos on YouTube. So. And then kind of like we spread the word, I guess, and that just took off from there. There's so many other people coming in, discovering so many things in the flat Earth community. It was an amazing experience. We're just figuring out things left, right, and center, and going out and exploring the world and discovering, and doing experiments. So it was incredible, and yeah, it really took off. But anyways, we've come a long way since then, and I'm gonna analyze this video of his. So let's get to it. So he talks about aliens, basically talking about aliens, demonic spirits, maybe. This lady saying that they're fallen angels, demons. In other words, if that's what you want to call a fallen angel, he could be a demon. Yeah, possibly. Are they demons? Equal to demons? Possibly. Not entirely sure. Generally I would call them demonic entities, per se. But let's have a listen.
I don't even know what it was, but there's videos of some kind of launch, and you can literally see the thing being shot into the sky and bouncing off the firmament, bouncing off the dome. You can see it. It literally looks like waves, like.
Okay, I've not seen this video that she's talking about. I've seen where they've tried to go up and they can't.
When a boat is just launching through the water and it leaves behind that trail, that's exactly what it looked like. Aliens aren't real. They're fallen angels.
Oh, here we go. This is where I got a problem. Aliens aren't real. That's true. Aliens aren't real. I gotta take a deep breath on this.
Yeah, aliens specifically aren't real. Yeah, that's true. Depends in context what you're saying, though.
Launching through the water and it leaves behind that trail, that's exactly what it looked like. Aliens aren't real. They're fallen angels.
They're fallen angels. There are no green little men from Mars. They're fallen angels. You see the problem is, they exist, but they're not aliens. They're fallen angels. Come on, man. There are no UFO aliens, period. There are no... Let's just see the evidence. Well, maybe I should take a look at the evidence, right? UFO.
Okay, we're going to look at the evidence. What's the evidence that supports this claim that these alien UFO aliens, you say? What's the evidence for it? This is your evidence.
Aliens. They're not UFO aliens, they're fallen angels. Right there. See, that's not a UFO alien, that's a fallen angel. And there's a couple more fallen angels right there. See, look at them. Right? There, more fallen. There's another fallen angel right there. There's fallen angel machine. Airplane machine. That's not a UFO spaceship, that's a fallen angel spaceship. You see how stupid this is? I mean, it's stupid. This right there, there's a UFO. That's not a UFO alien spaceship, that's a fallen angel alien spaceship. There, right there, These aren't UFO aliens, they're fallen angels. There's another fallen angel. Look at him. You can see him clear as day. More fallen angels. There's another fallen angel. Are we alone? No, there's fallen angels right there. Another fallen angel. They're riding in the car, man. Everybody having a good time. Right.
But you're not really proving anything here, man. You're just saying, that these are drawings or images. Yeah, you're mocking. I can tell you're mocking. Yeah, good. But do you believe? What do you believe specifically? What do you believe, like specifically? Because people have experiences, and as a collective in humanity, there are things going on that we can't explain. So spiritually, physically, the experiences that people have had, like back in the day when it was very little known compared to what we know now because of internet and all that sort of stuff. So what are you going on about?
Fallen angel. There's a fallen angel right there. It's not a UFO spaceship. That's a fallen angel. The assumption is that this is all real. This is not real. This is comic book stuff.
Comic book stuff. You think people just want to come up with this sort of stuff because for the hell of it? Because they want to believe in a fairy tale, that this is a fairy tale or some sort of fairy tale going on here. These things are very fearful. They're not this is scary. You imagine coming across one of these, right? Experiencing one of these beings. You think it'd be like if you came across one of these beings, and could you really like just prove it to someone that you experienced something like this? Could you really go, hey, I experienced this, and then you can find that evidence, find that proof, then grab one of these beings and go, here he is. This is the alien that came and visited me. This is the fallen angel, the demonic entity. I like to say what I think they are. They're demonic entities. But you can't just throw it under a bus and go, yep, that's it. It's not that easy, man. People are having these experiences.
Right? There's no truth to this. This is not real. That's not fallen angel. This is comic book stuff. Whether it's Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Robin, UFO alien, it's all comic book stuff. Or I'm sorry, not UFO aliens, because they don't exist. Fallen angels.
You've got people who do drawings, to support their own claims. People who do drawings to support what they experienced, and then you have people who, do it as a comedy thing. They'll do it, yeah, aliens. They've never experienced anything, and they'll do some stupid drawing, and like you said, like the aliens in a car and they're having fun, right? But you can't really deny that there are thousands upon thousands of people that have experienced something or seen something, like people seeing things in the sky. I've seen things in the sky myself too. You've got these transforming ships in the sky, if you like to call it that, or shapes transforming into different shapes. What do they call it? It'll come to me in a minute.
This is not reality, folks. You're living in comic book world. Right? Comic book world. They do not exist.
Shape-shifting. Shape-shifting is the word.
You see this thing right there? Oh, that must be a fallen angel. You see a light in the sky. You see a picture on it. You see a little blurb on a image, and you think, oh, fallen angel. I mean, that's ridiculous, man. You're too gullible. All right, that's beautiful. I gotta get that game. I'm telling you, people are too gullible. They want to believe this stuff. That's why it sells. They want to believe it. All right,
they want to, or they actually have experienced something. that's what you're failing to say, because it's easy to say that one or two people came out with it and they're trying to deceive people with that, and it's not real. But then it's another thing to deny all the claims that from people that people have seen, filmed, because there is footage of shape-shifting ships or whatever they are in the sky, multiples of lights, whole cities of people seeing lights coming over the big ships or whatever they look like. They look like ships, right? Let's be honest. But yeah, you can't just deny it like that, man. You can't. It's just it's a whole collective of humanity that experience this sort of stuff.
It just sounds so fantastic, and to hell with the truth, right? Who cares about the truth? Just give me the fantastic, man.
Well, what is your truth, man? You know, if it's not fantastic to you, or if it's not fantastic, but if it's not fact for you, and you think it's all comic book stuff, well, then it's not going to be real to you. It's going to be all just mumbo jumbo nonsense, right?
The fantastic. You see, that's not a UFO alien. That's a fallen angel, about ready to, carve out a cow. Probably a car too. I don't know. Alien and UFO encounters on the moon. That's not UFO aliens. That's fallen angels. Fallen angels. Fallen angels. That's assuming that this is all true. None of this is true. None of it is true. There's not one. That's not a real picture of a fallen angel.
But it could be a picture. It could be a real picture of a real demonic entity, is what I consider them to be. And I think they are demonic entities.
These are not real images of fallen angels. Not even that one. None of these are real images. They're not real. They don't exist at all. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. They want to hear this stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't think that has to do with, like whether demonic entities are real or not, or fallen angels are real or not. The Bible is clear that spiritual evil beings exist, right? Satan himself. Yeah, man, you're not being you're not being legitimate here, man. Come on, you're not being legitimate. Um, you know, and just to clarify your position and what you're trying to say, I've got a couple other parts from your other videos to see what you really meant. You know what I mean? And I think I get the idea that you really don't believe this stuff.
They don't care about the truth at all. And these are the same people that are teaching all the UFO stuff. So I'm not going to get into that. The Hollywood make-believe sci-fi stuff. Alright, so
Okay, there's one.
to me, we're going from, people see lights in the sky and they think it must be from another planet. And in fact, people aren't even seeing lights in the sky. They're seeing images on their computer screen. And they're imagining that these are creatures from outer space.
Yeah, come on, like comic books. Is that what you mean? They're just seeing images on the internet, and it's all comic book stuff. Hey, come on, man, that's ridiculous.
Now, not only are we going from seeing and imagining, now people are hearing and imagining all these goofy things.
So they're delusional. They're just imagining it. It's a figment of their imagination, is what you're saying. So, I think that sums it up, man. You don't believe this stuff. You don't think that people actually having these experiences outside, or these beings. Let's call them beings. That these beings are coming to them in the night, or that they're getting abducted, getting taken somewhere physically. Because, I mean, we are in a reality. We're not like in some sort of non-reality. We are in a place that we don't even understand ourselves sometimes, right? So if we look at Ephesians 6:12, right? You know, and I know you use the King James Bible, man. You think that's the Bible, but you know, like I told you about translations, you don't want to believe what I say about that. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna bring that into this video. But anyways, let's get the consensus. Heavenly realms, heavenly places, heavenly places, heavenly places, realms, heavenly high places for your King James Bible, heavenly places, heavenly places, heavenly places, heavenly places. You keep going down, man. It's all heavenly places, supernatural places, heavenly places in the heavens, evil of heavens, wickedness in the heavenly places, under heaven. This one doesn't say it at all, but that's fine. Heavenly world, heavenly realm, heavenly places, heavens, heavenly places, heavenly places, heavenly warfare, heavenly places, heavenly places. So the consensus is that that's a translation. You know, you can't perfectly translate from another language into English. It doesn't matter how hard you try. So there's not going to be a perfect Bible who's going to have the perfect English. It's not going to happen. So, but we can let's look at some of this historical facts, because I think you can prove some of this stuff, that people actually experience these things in the world and in the heavenly places. Where's the high places? Up above us in the sky, right? So let's have a look at you know, ancient UFO paintings. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, let's just accept that. Okay, so look at this. So this is 1350, and you've got, look at these. They look like spaceships in the sky, right? You know, back then they knew something. They saw these things back then, 1350 AD. You know, so what else? Let's see if we can find any more. Yeah, here we go. So this looks like the sky, the high places, and I mean, you could say they're clouds, but do they actually look like clouds? You know, you don't really draw clouds like that. It looks very eerie, you know. Same with this. Looks like a spaceship, right, or something. You know, like Satan can masquerade as a being of light. You know, that looks like something of light, emanating light. And this person's even looking up, looking at it, right? Going, what the heck is that? You know. So obviously there's something. This was in the 1400s, so late 1400s. You know, we can just keep going back in history with this sort of stuff, right? And yeah, that's just an example. Looks like there's alien ships up here. So whatever you want to call them, aliens, demonic entities, fallen angels. You know, it's a consensus, man. I think going back in history, we can tell that the people saw these things in the sky, and they even drew it. So they drew them in the sky. So, and the Bible talks about them in being in the sky, right? High places, heavenly places. There's another one, right? 1600s. Very, very scary images. And it kind of proves, man, this is not just a figment of people's imagination. This is going on for a lot of people, and it's been going on throughout history. You know, 1700s, all the way up to today. You know, today we've got more technology, we've got more people, you know, coming out with it. So yeah, man, you can't just like go, hey, this is all comic book stuff. This is, you know, it's all stupid. It's not stupid. So that's that. Anyways, let's go to this guy, Whitley Strieber. So this is, I remember this movie communion, a true story, right? Based on a true story. So, used to walk through the video shop, video VHS shop, and I'd hate to look at that image because it was scary, man, to see that video. I did end up watching the movie eventually, and yeah, it just confirmed everything. It's just very scary, a lot of fear. So this is what he has to say. I felt an absolutely indescribable sense of menace. It was hell on earth to be there in the presence of the entities. So he calls them entities. And yet I couldn't move, couldn't cry out, couldn't get away. I'd lay as still as death, suffering inner agonies. Whatever was there seemed so monstrously ugly, so filthy and dark and sinister. Of course they were demons, they had to be. And they were here and I couldn't get away. So that's what he described, right? Okay, so, he says, of course they were demons. Of course, they're demons. They're fearful. They're very fearful. So how else would you describe these beings? Look at them. They're very, they're very fearful. Okay, they're terrifying. So now I'm going to get to the point of my video, the end game point of my video. So this is where I used to live, Port Lincoln, and this is the street we used to live on. So this is the house that we lived in, and so it was a nice house, enjoyed, had good times there, a lot of big childhood there, and so this staircase was added later. Now this staircase was actually went down to the bottom, but this part was like added later on. And so this is the living room, and this is the kitchen and dining area. This is the main bedroom. And basically, so before this was put in, this staircase that emanates out, or comes out, the staircase actually, it's not a stairwell, staircase actually went all the way down to the bottom. And so I had an experience myself. My experience, what happened was, my dad, me, and my brother, we were watching a movie one night, and in the living room, and we happened to fall asleep actually on the floor, and it was very odd because we fell asleep on the floor, and I happened to wake up. So I woke up and I was actually more towards the far side of the room, so I was over this area here, and I was just right. I was sleeping on the floor next to my dad, and he was actually towards the window. I was behind him, so I turned around and looked over his shoulder, and I looked at the window, and there was a being there. And I'll show you the drawing that I did. This is the drawing I did, and this is the being. And a lot of people, I show them this image, and they're like, "Oh, it's an alien! Oh, it's an alien! It's an alien grey." But I saw this thing, and I was in shock and terror. I was shocked and I was terrified. And I quickly turned around and I said to myself, I'm like, that's not real. That's not real. That's not real. And I was freaking out, completely freaking out. And after like 30 seconds, I'm like, that thing can't be real. That's not real. Come on. And I turned around and I looked at this thing again. And it was still there. And it was looking down. I looked at it, and it was looking down at my brother, who fell asleep at the front of the TV. He was right in front of the TV, and this being was looking down at him. And I turned around and I just froze, and I did not want to move anymore after that. And I stayed there for about 20 minutes. I was laying there for 20 minutes. I did not want to turn around. I didn't want to look at this thing. I could feel the fear in the air. It was like as if this thing was emanating fear. So I was laying there for about 20 minutes, right? And I don't know how it happened, but I somehow fell asleep. It was by some sort of miracle. I fell asleep, and I woke up, and it was morning. And I looked back at the window. My brother and my dad were already up. They were about making breakfast. and I looked at the window, the blinds were still wide open, and the sun's coming in. And yeah, I woke up off the floor and I was like, wow, I'm so glad that's over. And that was my experience. And it's funny because, Whitley Strieber's movie, The Communion, it encapsulates that fear in the movie. Like when you actually watch this thing, it actually gets that atmosphere of these beings if they're in your presence, and it's very terrifying. It's hard to describe, but I didn't even draw this thing properly, man. His arms were just how lanky his arms looked. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it right. So this doesn't really support how this being looked. But man, there is no nowhere to stand. I don't think it would be standing on that, but it was a 2 meter drop. You know what I mean? 2 to 3 meter drop. So yeah, this being standing in the window right there, and that's my experience. I had an experience. I saw this being. I call them demonic entities. And ever since this day, I actually keep my blinds closed. They're always closed. Once it starts getting dark, boom, blinds closed all the time. I stay away from the windows, man, at night time. Keep the blinds closed because you don't want these beings coming in and looking at you, because they do and they exist. And this is why you just can't throw things under the bus, because these beings are terrifying, and I'm telling you, you don't want to experience it. You don't want to see this thing. Anyways, I'll leave it at that, and I hope that helps you, Jim, because you're wrong about these things, man. They're out there, and they're real.